Hi there. We are starting our geometry unit, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to talk about some of the vocabulary that we're going to be using when we start working with congruent triangles. So the first thing we should talk about is triangle. Most of you already know triangle has three sides, and all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. But we do have a little bit of extra information that you probably haven't seen before. First off, when we're drawing a triangle, the points that make up the triangle are generally represented by capital letters. So I've got capital A, capital B, capital C in blue here, representing the three corners, the three vertices of the triangle. The sides are made up with lowercase letters here in green. So I have the uppercase A across from the lowercase a. Notice this angle right here does not touch this side. They're across from each other. And that's how I know that they go together. So the capital A and the lowercase a are across from each other. The capital B and the lowercase b are across from each other. And the capital C and the lowercase c are across from each other. So our points that make up the triangle are in uppercase, and the sides that make up the triangle are lowercase. This hopefully will save a little bit of confusion. If I want to say the triangle formed by points A, B, and C, so if I'm talking about this triangle right here, basically what I do is I draw a little triangle symbol and then capital A, capital B, capital C. Most of the time we're going to be writing things out like this just because it saves a lot of space instead of writing out all of the words for it. We've just had a little symbol here for our triangle, so we know we're talking about a triangle, and we know that we have A, B, and C as our three corners that make up the triangle. Next thing I want to talk about are corresponding parts. We've got two corresponding parts that we're going to talk about. We've got corresponding angles and corresponding sides. So first off, corresponding angles are angles on two different objects that are in the same position. So for instance, I have this angle right here. Now, this angle corresponds to this angle on this triangle because these two are in the same position. They're sort of at the base where the short angle meets one of the longer angles, but it's not the diagonal angle. So here we've still got a short angle that meets a long angle that's not the diagonal one. These two are in the same position, therefore they're corresponding angles. We also have corresponding sides, and corresponding sides are very similar. They're just two sides on two separate objects that are in the same position. Once again, I have this short side here and this short side here, and those, since they're both the short sides, are corresponding. They're in the same position on two different objects. Next two terms we have are similar and congruent. Well, similar is exactly what it sounds like. Two objects look about the same, but they're not necessarily the same size. So they've got the same shape, but they can be different sizes. With this first example here, I've got triangle ABC. So we have triangle ABC, and then we have triangle XYZ. Now, even though this triangle is smaller, and I basically took my big triangle here and I turned it to the side, we still have two similar triangles. We can rotate, we can spin them around, we can flip the triangles, but if all of their angles are the same, they're basically the same shape. They're just different sizes. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ. Notice I used capital letters for the letters of the triangles because, remember, we use capital letters for the vertices, for the 3 points. Now the symbol that I use for similar, to say these two triangles are similar, is basically an equal sign with the squiggly line on top. So the top line of this equal sign is squiggly. That means similar. So these two triangles here are similar. Now, if two triangles are the same shape and they're the same size, so in this case we've got two triangles down here that are the same shape, and if I drew them correctly, they're the same size, then we can say that they're congruent, because congruent objects have the same size and shape. And we can write this out. So I've got triangle C, D, E, and triangle F, G, H. And the way that I say these are congruent is I have a regular equal sign and with a squiggly on top. So triangle CDE is congruent to triangle FGH.